Documentary filmmaker Jared Brock addressed the issue of underage exposure to pornography in his film, Over 18. I sat down with Jared earlier to discuss his perspective on the intention of this bill, its potential challenges, and what it could accomplish. Let's take a look. Jared, I want to talk to you about your documentary Over 18 that you made. It starts off with a shocking statement from a boy who literally at the age of 13 describes himself as a recovered porn addict. I mean, what is the scope of this issue in reality? Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's a bit of an issue. A 2021 study suggests that 1 in 5 of men under 30 is watching daily. So it's already a major addiction crisis, and we should expect those numbers to soar with the next generation. You got to remember the porn industry is a $100 billion industry, more than all pro sports combined. And the top 100 sites racked up 1.45 billion hours last year.
It's crazy.
The most important thing is that minors over the age of 11, the majority of them in Canada have seen pornography. They've got porn in their pocket on their cell phones, and porn companies are breaking the law every day. So this is a huge issue.
So this isn't obviously an isolated problem. I mean, what are your thoughts on the intention behind the bill S-210 that's come out?
I've actually read this bill. It's not that complicated. The stated purpose is really simple. It's to protect kids online from what they're already protected from offline, which is these sexually explicit materials. You got to remember, porn companies with viewership in Canada are legally required to shield minors from their product. And if a child gains access to porn, parents should be able to report that porn company and they should get fined. And that's exactly what this bill does.
Do you feel that porn companies are doing enough right now? Do you feel that it's their responsibility?
Yeah, absolutely. They're making $100 billion a year off of this. It's their responsibility to protect kids from this. Now, the proposed legislation is not perfect. I have 2 problems with it. The first one is that there's a line in it that says, no company shall be convicted of an offense if the sex act is for a legitimate purpose related to science, medicine, education, or arts. And then the other issue with Bill S-210 is the cultural context into which it's being enacted. Canada is this grossly selfish, hyper-individualist culture, and we've forgotten this idea of shared freedom, that hey, my freedom ends where yours begins. So my ability to watch unbridled amounts of pornography has to end with child protection. So we've forgotten all about shared freedom. So this bill is really important, but it's also going to face big challenges.
So that leads me to my next question. Should the privacy rights of porn users be valued higher than the safety of our kids?
I mean, let's start with the fact that there is no so-called right to watching other people have sex. That is not a legal right in Canada. Whereas child protection is a codified right in this nation. But let's actually look about the mechanics of it. So Pornhub is owned by MindGeek, which recently rebranded as ALO, which is owned by a shell company with the hilarious name of Ethical Capital Partners. And they already have identity on all their visitors, and they have a product called Age ID. And basically, if we pass this law in Canada, people would have to go to Age ID or another online verification. They would verify their age with a credit card or mobile or passport or driver's license. You'd be then given a passcode. And as soon as you get that passcode, the system deletes your information. And then you can take that passcode to any age-restricted site and log in. So Bill S-210 specifically says that any age verification software has to maintain user privacy, protect personal information, and destroy that personal information once the age verification is complete. Meaningful age verification is a no-brainer. We already do it in the real world. We just need to bring it onto the digital world too.
Thank you so much for your time, Jared. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'm not suggesting that privacy and security aren't important. They absolutely are. But there's a difference between an adult choosing to engage in something with consequences that they understand and a kid stumbling across something that was never intended for them. So for the people who are concerned about privacy issues, let me ask you guys, are they overlooking the intention of this bill, do you think?
The government itself?
The people that are worried about privacy issues, they seem more concerned about the privacy issues than
children.
Than the children.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I would say that. I liked everything he said, and that program that he uses, okay, sure, hey, that's no problem. But there has to be guarantees that the identity gets deleted and all that stuff. I think that that's a very important thing. I liked how this is more about saying, look at it's more about the protection of both parties, I think.
And can we do both though? Can we protect both groups of people who want to watch porn, the adults and the young kids?
I think so.
You believe that's possible?
And then if we can't, I think it should be the children
We should
primarily,
prioritize.
and then worry about.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
That should definitely be the focus for that.
100%.
And considering how much money the industry is making, they should obviously they can afford to do something.
I think we do have to look at that. So when we come back, how do we ensure age-restricted content isn't available to children? Because I'm sure we can all agree that it shouldn't be. So let's discuss what we can do about it. Thank you.
I'ma rule the world, yeah.